What does your sock drawer look like? Can I get a pizza? No nasty bosses.
Your crown will rust.
Isn't this the person who you want doing your root canal? These people are gonna frickin' die trying.
You're not kidding.
Hi everyone, it is Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer, and today I am here with the wonderful Connie Joe from Team Soul Navigation over there in Florida, and we're going to talk all about the sixth house. Hi Connie.
Hi everybody.
How are you doing today?
I am doing great. I can't wait to talk about the sixth house. It is so important.
Yes, and are you having a great sixth house day today?
You got it, my friend. That sixth house mundane stuff that we do every single day, right?
It's kind of misunderstood. We're going to talk about it in a way where you, the listener, the audience, is really going to be able to relate to the definition of the sixth house and how it plays out in your life. Because I think there's a lot of misunderstandings about this house. Like it's boring, wah, wah, you know?
Oh, I do too. And then in traditional astrology, this was the house of crisis.
And illness.
It was seen very, very differently than how it's seen today. And I think, Meredith, that it builds on the fifth house where we create, where we have our creativity. Then we take it to the sixth house where we perfect it, where it's the house of the craftsman, where you have that perfection of what you created in the fifth. And then you take it to the seventh and you share it, you know?
I love that. Yes, yes, yes. It's so good. I do think there is a lot of perfectionism. Perfectionism could be kind of derogatory. So I kind of like to say, playing on your idea, if you will, it's about that self-mastery and how you go about that self-mastery. That's really good, Connie. You know, I also see it as it's kind of the tool set. It's your toolbox for the great work you're trying to do in the 10th house. It's the support system to the 10th house too.
It's really cool though, how the second house, the sixth house, and the 10th all work together in tandem to create our careers, our work habits, all of the above, how we make money. But the sixth house is so fun because it is our everyday routine, whether you go to work or not.
I love how you said the second, the sixth, and then the 10th, because those are the houses of the builders. The routine that you implement to stand in your greatness is the sixth house. I think of the bodybuilder, and the bodybuilder, I have two clients that are actually professional bodybuilders. You just think, gosh, bibbity bobbity boo, and you look like that, right? No, it took a whole year of eating just a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Right? That's the sixth house.
And speaking of sixth house, it is about our health, our physical health. You know, you were talking about chicken breast, but it is about diet and routine and our health.
I need to go on that chicken breast diet.
Yeah, me too.
I ate way too much cheese over the holiday and crackers.
I want my chicken breast to be crispy fried. I'm a Southern girl, remember?
I want my chicken breast from Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
It is your relationship to your health and your wellness. So I think this is the relationship to your ability to organize your life. I think this sixth house shows how grounded you are or aren't. You know, don't you think that those earth houses are really your grounding houses?
They are. Absolutely.
Like you said, your daily routines and your everyday work. So even if you don't work and you're at home, this is how you are putzing around your house, right?
Exactly. It's like walking your dog, going to the grocery store, your everyday routine.
Can I ask you a secret about your sixth house? What does your sock drawer look like?
I wear flip-flops all the time.
Yeah, you're in Florida. Okay. I'm in Seattle. I have a big sock drawer and it's like mismatched, crazy ass sock drawer, singletons everywhere. And everybody in my house steals my socks. It's the treasure chest.
You know what? I know your sixth house husband. That doesn't compute. We'll have to...
We'll talk about it when we
get
there. Oh, I also want to say, I think this is your relationship to anxiety.
This
has a high
because Virgo rules the nervous system.
Yes. Yeah. Also, we didn't talk about this. Oh my gosh. Yes.
You went. I know, because it's our favorite part, right? I mean, it's my favorite part of the sixth house. It's our relationship to small animals,
Yeah.
not just our pets, but all small animals, really.
So I want to give one sentence to people to be able to look at the cusp of their sixth house. And you guys, this is how I want you to do this. I want you to get your gorgeous natal chart and you're looking at the sign today. And we're going to go through all 12 signs through the sixth house. And we'll also talk a little bit about the planets there, but mostly in this video, we're talking about the signs. And as we go through the different signs, we'll tell you which planets to look for, etc. And the ruler of the sign on the cusp of your sixth house is bossing that house around. And it's really important to look at that planet. But I wanted to give you one sentence to think about. And the sixth house is everything else that we just talked about. But if you had to say one sentence, I might say something like the sixth house, this house, the sign on the cusp of this house is how I develop myself.
Self-mastery. Yeah.
How you develop yourself on a daily basis and what that process is to become that bodybuilder or whatever your identity evolves into. If you're a school teacher, how do you develop yourself into that teacher is this house. It isn't standing up and teaching necessarily. It's the tools that you are using to become a great teacher.
It's going to school to learn to be a good teacher. It's doing the work, the homework, the studying, and then it's starting to learning to work with whatever group you want to teach. Yeah, it's a process.
It's how you're in service to yourself and to others.
It is the house of service.
I also find that you can see integrity. So we're going to talk all about it. It's really fun. Do you want me to start with Aries?
Yes, please do.
Okay. When you have Aries in the sixth house, this makes your daily routine, your relationship to your routine, and the way in which you approach your self-mastery as sort of an independent pursuit where you are self-directed, self-guided. You probably are a little bit of a trailblazer. You're going to go into willingly uncharted territory, just like a good Aries would. But I like to think about this. We got to talk about this, Connie. This house, and it's one of the reasons why in traditional astrology, it was considered a house of crisis. Is that what you called it? Yeah. And that's because it sits in quincunx to the ascendant. So it's quirked. Yeah. So the sixth house never goes well with your ascendant. So who you are in the world is in conflict in a little bit of a way. And if you didn't see my video on quincunxes, oh my gosh, you have to watch that video to understand the sixth house because your planets and this sign is probably in a quincunx to your rising sign. And so it's a little wonkadoodle.
Yeah,
your rising sign doesn't know how to do the sixth house. You have to go learn it. So this makes for a Scorpio rising. But what's interesting about a Scorpio rising and an Aries?
Mars.
Woo! This is a Mars chart. This is a really brave person. So if you're Scorpio rising, you probably have Aries on the cusp of your sixth house, or you have Aries in the sixth house. And if you have two signs in your sixth house, which if you have one of my gorgeous natal charts, you probably do, or it's highly likely that you do, look at both signs. And watch this video all the way through, not just for yourself, but get other people's charts in your life so you can understand their relationship and what their toolbox has in it or wants to have in it for them to pursue their greatness, especially if you're a parent. If you're a parent, you have to know your child's sixth house because that's how they want to do and will do their daily routine. So if your kid is driving you nutso, like they don't want to get out of bed or do their chores, go see if they have Pisces on the sixth house cusp.
I was going to say the same thing. They're a Libra rising, probably. That's most of my children.
That's my whole family. My husband's still sleeping in the bedroom.
Meredith, we are full of Libra risings all around us. Really, both of us.
But Mars is a big player in this chart. So you got to go look and see what your Mars is doing because it's on remote control if it's not in the sixth house. It's bossing this house around and you're brave and you're courageous. And if you have Mars in this house, this also applies to you and to your daily routine. And I think these people go all the way in, like they dive into the deep end of the swimming pool. They go head first. They have all this gusto for life. And oftentimes I find these people set up their life to like their life because Aries gets so friggin' bored. I don't know how many Aries truly like folding their laundry.
Yeah,
It's so boring. So what do? They crank up the tunes, they talk to somebody while they're folding their laundry, or they're watching TV. Aries always has to make it bigger, better, bolder, more fun, more interesting, right?
exactly.
But I also think this is a really successful placement for athletes and people going to the military, strippers and sex workers.
Yeah, absolutely.
You tell me if you have Aries on the sixth house cusp, if you've got a madam in your life.
Or you are the madam.
Okay, yeah, even better because they are leaders, right? Trailblazers.
Exactly.
I also think the tiny details really kind of depress them. Like, bleh. All
Yeah,
the rinky dink details is just, I think they like to make it up as they go and not have their whole schedule planned out. Don't you think they kind of shoot from the hip a little bit?
absolutely. I do. Very Martian.
Like, I don't think they're just sitting around literally doing nothing. And, I think a sixth house Mars or a sixth house Aries needs a really, really busy workload. I know I was joking about Chick-fil-A earlier, but this is like the girl who takes your order at Chick-fil-A outside, in the drive
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
drive. And I don't know if it's like this where you live, but this is 3 lanes and it goes all the way out the parking lot, down the street and onto the highway. I'm not joking.
It's the same way here. It is.
So
I know.
my daughter and I just went to Chick-fil-A the day after Christmas just to have a little time together. She goes, Mom, can you imagine doing this job? I was thinking this is a sixth house Aries job only because it's chaotic, it's constant. You can't check your cell phone. It's not like she can be like, TikToking on her job. Fast paced. It's crazy directing
I agree.
like that. Let's talk about health though with this placement. I don't think these people get. Speaking of going fast, roll on to Taurus.
This person is usually reliable. Think about the bull, a bit stubborn about the way they want to do things. But you know what, Meredith? I think the most important thing for this placement is working with nature or being outside. This person has to spend part of their day outside or at least near a window where they can see outside, where they can see nature. I think that's really important. If you have Taurus here, they work hard. But you know what? They work hard because they want beautiful things. This is a very sensual sign. It's our fixed earth sign. So they're a little bit stubborn about their everyday routine. They'll work hard for things that they want in life. I think they're good at physical work as well. They
Hey, wait
don't.
a minute. Isn't this your placement?
Yeah.
Do you have a window in your office?
I got two.
Oh my God, I have no windows. I'm in a round room with padded walls.
It is true. I can't stand not to be outside. I spend more time outside than inside, to be quite honest. Is, I think, a big part of having Taurus there, needing to be close to nature. It is the most grounded sign. I like to look at things that are beautiful, things that are pretty. I also think this position has a fairly good disposition as far as their health, but when they get sick, I think it's hard for them to get well. It's like it seems to hang on. It really depends on where you have your Venus. If it's in an earth sign, if it's in a water sign, I think that really makes a difference. If it's an air sign, you're going to be more aesthetic about what you want to look at and what you want to do. And I can tell you with 100% honesty that this sign loves animals.
Absolutely. And also, I think they are very, very, very attached to their pets. Like when their pets die, they die.
I can't agree enough. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
because this is ruled by love. I also think these people can be, if the Sagittarius rising, these are usually Sag risings.
Yeah.
The Sag rising doesn't dominate, and if they have a good Venus placement, I think they can be phenomenal money managers.
Yes.
Let's talk about Gemini. With Gemini here, the quincunx is Capricorn. So, that's Gemini and Capricorn, right? That's kind of hard. I find these people can be just so brilliant, so bright, so agile. Their mind is like doing gymnastics here.
It's double Mercury. It's like you've got the Mercury coming from the Virgo house and then Gemini Mercury. I mean, I don't even know how they go to sleep, you
Yeah,
know?
I don't think they do. So if you guys have this placement or Mercury in this house or Gemini on the cusp of the sixth house, you probably think fast, move fast. You probably like have a really quick click to you. I looked up famous people for some of these signs, not all of them, but for some of them. And Jimi Hendrix has this.
Oh,
Like,
I love that.
and I just think about how like almost ambidextrous he was and just God, what a genius musician he
Yeah.
was and the influence he had on the world of music. I think this placement also really likes variety, the spice of life. They have an inherent versatility. I think they like to mix it up. I also think this kind of makes the Capricorn rising that's so stoic a better communicator, a more playful communicator. This
Mhm.
brings a sense of humor to the Capricorn rising a little bit, like that dry humor,
Yes.
and a wit.
Yeah.
But I think that there is gobs of pressure. Whoever has this placement, I want you to leave us a comment and tell us if you can relate. What is your take on this placement? Because we would love to know.
Yes. Shall we go to Cancer?
Yes, please do.
This is like the mother of the group, the mother of the everyday routine. So this is Aquarius rising. So think how different this is when you have an Aqua rising and then Cancer on that sixth house, because you bring your emotions into your everyday life. And Aquarius is probably going, nope, 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 don't do it. But yeah, you have to because it's really an interesting dynamic. This person probably has a harder time separating home from work. People become their family as well. They probably form an emotional attachment. Not only, of course, they have it with their family, but also their work family. And then because it's ruled by the moon, think about where your moon is and what sign your moon is in. This can kind of be a moody placement. As helpful, as sensitive, and sympathetic as Cancer is, and they are all of those things and do it beautifully. I mean, hospice workers, working in a hospital, working with children, any of those things, perfect jobs. But these people can be a little moody because their moods kind of oscillate with the moon going around to each sign. So I think that's one of the only downfalls to having Cancer here and maybe getting a little too emotional in the day to day.
Isn't that interesting? I think this is probably the person who like invented ancestry.com.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And also, I think these people might even like animals more than people.
That's what I was going to say. They love their pets, maybe even more than Taurus people.
Yeah.
They do.
Because they can emotionally bond with them so easily.
Yes. I think they also have to watch their digestive system because
If you are a member, you get to watch all of this entire video, and we will have the whole video loaded for you on Wednesday, and you'll get to see full content. So if you aren't a member, it's so inexpensive to do. It puts 10 cents in my pocket and it lets me just do more videos. And it really helps support the channel. And this is how this keeps us alive and thriving here on YouTube. And we just really, really appreciate it. So I really encourage you to become a member. And let's talk about Leo in the sixth house.
yes.
It's really creative and passionate placement. And I think these people are coming into a self-mastery around, yes, creativity, but self-expression. Who am I? And their uniqueness. What's funny is if you have Leo here, your sun sign is ruling this house.
It sure is.
That's a big statement. And so this can be a person who's extraordinarily vibrant. There can be like an abundance of a life force energy and charisma. And it's like these people probably pour their identity into their daily routine, into their daily work. And I think that this can also lend itself to being a workaholic.
I think
I
so
also
too.
think these people are kind of working, might be subconscious, but they're working for the crown or adoration or appreciation or attaboys or leadership, or they want to be the very, very, very best that they can possibly be. They might even have aspirations like, I want to be the best in the world or the best in my industry, because it's Leo and it's ruled by their sun, their soul, their identity is poured into this house. I think also this makes like a great artist or entertainer or somebody who loves working with children or is very childlike. And I also think, Connie, that these people are the ones that they're the ones that like dress their animal up in costume, clothes on their head, and have their own. My pet has its own Instagram.
I love it. You're probably right. And I think these would make this placement also good athletes,
Yeah.
because Leo wants to win. I'm telling you. I think that they have natural creative talents to do almost any kind of sport.
Absolutely. And poker player, or isn't this most likely Pisces rising?
Yes.
So like a magician or a poker player some way, the sleight of the hand, if you will. Oh, that's a wine. Where it's like there can be like a focus around games, magic, entertainment, and also fantasy and illusions that play into their work. Don't you think? Like
I do. And I just got this picture of the camp leader blowing the whistle, the one that organizes all the fun things for the campers to do.
yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. Because it's very childlike. And
Uh-huh.
was their college job or their high school job. This person would be like world's greatest baby. And that's also if you have the sun in the sixth house, everyone. So tell us about if you have the exalted Virgo here or Mercury in this house.
Oh my goodness. So Aries rising for the most part. Virgo naturally rules the sixth house. So if you have your Virgo here, it's like double dose, double dose. These people are so analytical, so organized. They can do it sometimes to the point of obsession. They get so obsessed organizing and doing one particular thing that they're so focused on it that they sometimes forget the big picture just a bit in everyday life. They will spend 16 hours trying to balance the checkbook. They forgot to walk the dog and fix dinner and do, because they get very analytical and focused on things, which is really good if you are an accountant. These people are actually really, really good medical workers because of their attention to detail. It's not that they're not sympathetic, but they're able to go into a situation of crisis, whether it be a vet for an animal or medical for people, whichever, it doesn't matter because I think it fits both the same. They're able to see the situation, put the details together, fix it, analyze it, figure out what's going on. And then these people are smart. So they're able to come up with solutions. They will help you come up with a solution for anything. I promise you. Just tell them the problem. They'll come up with a solution. So, but it's not that they don't have any emotions, Meredith, but it's like this double dose of Mercury where they're problem solvers. It's like they're detail oriented, they're problem solvers, they're going for a goal, they have something to do, and they're going to do it. Yes, they love their pets. Yes, they truly care about people. They do. This is their house. This is the house of taking care of humanity and other people. They're so good at it because of the details and the analytics of the situation.
Isn't this the person who you want doing your root canal
You're damn straight.
and your eye surgery?
Or if something happened to one of my beautiful pets,
Yeah.
doing surgery on my pet. These are the people
really
that would pay attention. They care. They
Yeah.
do it because they care.
This is Aries rising usually.
It is.
These people are going to freaking die trying.
You're not kidding.
They're going to die trying. And if they love you,
Yeah.
whoa, well, like watch out. They're all up in you.
But the funny thing though is they also are so.
Also, by the way, I want to say if you guys haven't gotten a reading with Connie Jo, you need to. You really need to get a reading with Connie. She's absolutely amazing. You can get a reading with me too, but I have a long wait. Connie, you can get on Connie's schedule. All you have to do is go to Soul Navigation, click on book a reading, and book a reading with Connie Jo and have her read your natal chart in a new way in which you can understand your soul's purpose, who you were born to be, who were you in a past life, who are you preparing to be in your next lifetime, what is your life purpose? And it's just so exciting. Also, because we're coming up on Valentine's Day, just around the corner now, I can't believe it. You specialize in love and relationships, don't you, Connie?
I do. It's my favorite.
And
Yeah.
you're really, really good at picking dates, marriage dates, surgery dates,
Oh, I
even
love that too. Yeah.
divorce dates. Talking about love, let's talk about Libra in the sixth house, or if you have Venus here.
Yeah.
This is really, really interesting because this is another double dose of Venus, because this is probably Taurus rising.
Yeah.
And so one thing I find that Libra is trying to do is everybody says, oh, Libra is the most balanced sign. No, Libra is chasing balance because they are not balanced. They're always on a teeter-totter, trying to do this side, trying to do this side, and they live as a bridge between these two different worlds. And so I think balance and being balanced, peace, love, and harmony, and having zero conflict is one of the most important things to Libra or Venus in the sixth house. They also, I think these are really good communicators usually. They're good at being a manager, being in public relations or consulting or the arts or fashion, beauty, diplomacy, and being a negotiator,
Lawyers,
a lawyer, working,
judges.
even a jury.
Yeah.
Case
Yeah.
selection.
Because they want everything to be fair.
Yeah.
Every day they want things to be fair.
They probably don't have the work-life balance. They probably don't have the fairness. They probably don't have the peace and the love because they're trying to maintain that. I think they don't have it to the degree they want and that they want or like, and that can really take a toll on the nervous system. It can be really, really, really high stress if their world isn't comfortable. And then what's ironic about this is if their world is comfortable, in an odd way, they sort of lose their mission of getting it to be comfortable. It's kind of like Aries. When they get their mate, then they lose their mission of chasing or pursuing for the mate. So when Libra, they're cardinal signs. And if you guys didn't watch my video on the cardinal signs in your chart, you have them all in your chart somewhere. You got to go watch that video. That video is so good. Cardinal signs like to chase the thing. Capricorn is chasing ambition and Cancer is chasing security and love. But when Libra gets that harmony and that peacefulness, then it's like, now what? Now I'm bored.
I hadn't thought of that before, but yeah.
That's why they're always kind of chasing it and never really getting it, because once they get it.
Do you think when they get it, they're waiting for the other shoe to drop somewhat, like waiting for something to happen, that there's a fear that, it'll go away if they don't continue to be on it all the time?
Yeah, and I actually think they passively sabotage sometimes, getting deep into the psyche of Libra. And you guys, if you are a Libra, or if you have a strong Libra placement, you could watch my entire Libra placement, because I give a different understanding about Libra in that playlist. And I think you're absolutely right. I think then they start to passively sabotage by becoming disinterested, by checking out, by detaching, and then they create a little bit of conflict. And then it's kind of fun putting it all back together. Now, no Libra is really going to admit this, because this is,
Lord, no.
this is subconscious. This is underneath. This is deep in the psyche. But I think they can be mentally strained if it's too much conflict or too much crisis. So you guys got to look at where your Venus is and see if your Venus is working well with Libra. Okay, Scorpio.
This is the person that can be really secretive in their everyday, where you may not know what this person's doing every day because they might be a spy for another country. You never know. This is the type it can be when you have Scorpio here, because this is Gemini rising. So you've got to think, you've got this highly intelligent person that's ruled by Mercury that has Scorpio on the sixth house. You're looking at a forensic scientist, a spy for another country, somebody that's very secretive, but there's something very transformative. I think Scorpio wants that transformation in their everyday life. They want to feel it. It's like if they're feeling good, they want to feel good. If they are in pain, they'll feel the pain. They'll take it. But they want to really control and live that life where they have to be in control. That's what they want. There is such a secrecy, and they will ferret out any information that they want to get. I'm just telling you, you can't hide anything from a Scorpio sixth house. It doesn't even matter if it's their job. If they want to know more about you, they will find it. Like little ferrets going in and getting the information. Money, investments. This is a powerful placement. Scorpio is a powerful sign, but they're fixed water. So they're ice. They may seem a little cold. They are hugely amazing at sexual forensics. SCU, the sexual crime unit, they would be the person that's not afraid to go in and investigate crimes that are taboo or nobody else wants to talk about. This is the person that is not afraid to get into the bloody, dramatic mess. They're not scared, y'all. They're just not. If I had to pick someone besides the Virgo to operate on me, I would want the Scorpio to at least come pick me up in the ambulance because they wouldn't be afraid of all the blood. You know
Right.
what I mean?
They'll go in and get the dead body.
Oh, yeah.
Is this
They could work
person,
at the body farm. They could work at the body farm,
what's the body farm? I'm learning a lot in this. By the way, if you guys want to know about the signs on your angles, my vertex report goes all into your angles, your rising sign, your midheaven, your IC, and your descendant. And that vertex report, it's so good. It's my newest report. Okay, we got to move on because we got to get through the rest. And if you guys want to watch this whole entire video in all of its content, just join and become a member and you'll get to see all of this video in its entirety. And if you're not a member and you're only getting to see the abbreviated version, I hope that you're getting a lot out of this as well. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being a subscriber. Please like this video to push it out. Our goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers and we are so close. And if you like this video and share it, it will help us reach our goal. So Sagittarius, let's talk about this adventurous sign on the 6th house. I think these people are really, really good with cross-cultural relationships and jobs that require that, like working for a non-government organization, maybe in another country, or working for the United Nations, or travel nurse, or a traveling job. I also think that they are truth crusaders, truth seekers, so they could be the National Geographic documentary filmmaker, you know?
Oh, yeah. Or teachers, university teachers,
Yes.
teaching philosophy, astrologers.
They're going to be the visionary at work. They're going to have the idea and the concept. And what they're really good at is delegating. Like they'll come up with the idea and the concept, and they're super good at, well, let's say they're creating the concept for the film. Well, they'll hire the actor and the director and the location scout and the set designer and the producer, right?
Because they are big goal oriented, ruled by Jupiter. So it's like somebody else do the details. I'm going to tell you what I want done. Take care of it. Right?
Yeah. And I think they have a way to do that with a lot of charm and inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
Like they can motivate you to do their chores.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I have to bribe my daughter. Like, I don't have this placement, but I am a Sagittarius. Like, if you clean the cat litter box, I'll buy sushi tonight, delegating.
Yes.
But I also think, though, that they can have such lofty goals and take on such enormous projects that they don't sometimes know where to start, where the beginning is, where the middle is, where the end is. And they can just exhaust themselves by doing too much, too big, and they're not attracted to the mundane, dull life. They don't feel mundane. They feel like they have a big sense of purpose. Their self-mastery is a gargantuan self-mastery. Doing them is no small thing. And so they can exhaust themselves. But I was thinking about this would make a great placement for a trucker. And I was thinking a trucker, a cross-country long haul trucker, because if you think about it, this is going to be, Cancer rising. Then there's Sagittarius, traveling. And I was thinking like the trucker sleeps in his truck.
His truck is his home.
Yeah, his truck is his home and he's moving and he's on the road. So I'm wondering if you have this placement, if you're a long haul trucker.
Yeah.
And I also think this could be a brilliant documentary filmmaker seeking out the truth, or an investigative journalist. I watched that movie about the two journalists covering the Weinstein sexual harassment, and it was just so brilliant. But God, the life of an investigative journalist is it's like being a spy. It's crazy. With Sagittarius here, you're probably a good writer. You're probably a good communicator. You probably can get people to spill their secrets. You can probably get people to talk about anything, so I think they'd be really good investigative journalists. I also think they're really good at being like
Exactly.
It's a lot. Okay, you do Capricorn.
Okay, so let's start with what we think we know. Okay, so this is typically Leo rising, Yes, Capricorn on the sixth, ambitious. They do care about status. They are reliable. If they promise they're going to do something, they will deliver. What people don't know about Capricorn here is that they care as much or more about everybody else's success as they do their own. No, really, they do. They truly want everybody around them to succeed and be all they can be too. And people don't normally think that about Capricorn, but it's true. They really want everyone around them to be successful. So, yes, they are ambitious. Yes, they are the workaholics. Yes, they will work all freaking night and not have dinner and forget to feed their children. But at the same time, they're doing it for their children. It's such a paradox, this one. I love it. They really need to take care of their joints and their bones. But the good thing about this placement is Capricorn really ages backwards. So they do have longevity on their side. And as they grow older, I think they lighten up a little. They become more fun. They become less of the workaholic. It's the Benjamin Button placement when they have it in that sixth house. And they're lucky enough to get it in their everyday routine. Now, when it comes to animals, it's like a marriage. Okay. It is. It's like if you adopt an animal, this is a lifelong commitment. It's not, oh, I'm going to check you out and see if I like you. And if not, maybe I'll give you to, I don't know what I'll do. No, not with a Capricorn here. It's a lifelong commitment to their pets, to their animals. And but they're the ones that will do the charity work at the Humane Society as well to clean the cages and to help get all of the animals fed. So yeah, they care about the status, they care about the ambition, but there's so much more to this placement, really.
I think there is a lot of discipline with this placement because they also have a fixed rising sign, probably,
Yeah.
in the Leo rising, probably. And so they have this fixed rising that has this desire for a unique creative greatness. And then the Capricorn also wants to become a master.
They don't even hide it. They really do.
Yeah, they really want to become truly their own. I suggest getting a reading so you can have a breakthrough, so you can really manage this, because this can be a really tough placement. I mean, you can feel like you're crumbling. Okay, let's talk about Aquarius. Wow, the original thinker, oftentimes Virgo rising. So we have so we've got Mercury and Uranus and Saturn too, but I'm going to talk about the Uranus and Mercury, and this is like the brilliant mind. This is like, what was that Russell Crowe movie? Was it called The Brilliant Mind? I forget what it was called.
Oh, A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind. Yeah. Madness, where madness meets genius. And
exactly.
This person really gravitates towards alternative healings, alternative daily life. I mean, maybe this is the person who rebuilt, their camper into a house and they're taking it on the road. Like on TikTok, let me show you in 1 minute what I did in 3 years and you too can live fabulous like me. But I also think that these people really gravitate to working on new solutions, new products, new inventions, the new Apple Watch. I think these people are intrigued by AI. Like, this is the AI.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
And I also think these people make friends with everyone. So they love collaboration with colleagues, and they are less about hierarchy, and more about like working as an organization or as a group. Mm-hmm. I think this is a blend of technology, analytics, science, innovation, inventors, and efficiency. Like, that's why I said AI. Like, how can we do this faster, better, smarter?
Yeah.
They're trying to maximize potential all the time, speed things up, make things go faster, new and improved. This is literally the new and improved tide. Or did you know these laundry detergent jugs are ruining our planet? They are the sole reason why our planet is self-destructing. You need to do laundry in a sheet. Or these are the people like, have you tried bamboo toilet paper? Bamboo grows back and you're not cutting down trees. Like, conscientious improvement thinking. Like, this would be exhausting to live with this person, because it's like, cellophane is bad for you. Teflon is terrible. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I think it would be challenging to live with this person or listen to this person on an everyday basis.
It probably would, because they have such progressive,
They do.
researched thoughts about the destruction and the toxicity and you know, how this is bad for you and this is bad for you and this is good for you and this is good for you. And if you're not on board with that, but it could be fascinating as well. And you'll probably learn a lot from this person. I think they really like thinking out of the box, and their habits are probably out of the box. Like my girlfriend has this placement, and I went to stay with her in Long Island, and she was like, well, I know I didn't tell you. I mean, I was staying at her house, but I only eat raw foods. So I ate like nuts and berries and tomatoes while I stayed with her. I was so hungry for a hot meal. I was like, do you have any food we can heat up? Oh, well, you don't want to eat raw? I'm like, well, I just don't know about more nuts and berries. And she's like, well, let me tell you about the benefits of eating raw. I'm like, oh God, can I get a pizza? A pizza.
Oh my gosh.
I really want a grilled cheese right now.
You remember that on it was on Hunger Games. It was the second one, and there was a couple, one of the couples that was, I don't really know what district they were from, don't ask me, but they called them nuts and bolts. And this had to be the Virgo and the Aquarius. But they were the smartest ones there. I mean,
Right.
yeah.
The one interesting thing about this is that I kind of feel like they can kind of like not give two squirrels. Okay, let's do Pisces.
Okay, so let's start with the good part about this, because this is usually Libra rising and dreamy, spiritual. They're on the constant lookout to make the world a better place, to be better people. They truly can lend a sympathetic ear, and they care about people, and they'll come pray for you in your time of need, I promise. But damn, they like to sleep. And you know what? Where it's so hard for some of these other signs on the sixth house cusp to even go to sleep at night, this placement really doesn't have a problem sleeping for the most part. They have natural healing abilities. Truly, they do. But they hate routine. Something better might come along. Why would they want to be stuck in a routine when they might get to do something more exciting somewhere else? You see, you're looking at a placement that's ruled by Jupiter and by Neptune that has no boundaries. So really and truly, this is the person that can be focused on something for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden they're off on something else entirely. Their attention span is not great because it's huge. Does that make sense? It's just huge because Jupiter is huge. Neptune has no boundaries. So they're big dreamers, what they want to do every day. Now, do they do what they want to do every day? I don't know. But they don't like routine. They really don't. They're not as out of the box as Aquarius was, but they are out of the box. They're their own, they follow their own path. And if it involves helping and healing other people, they're all the better for it. This isn't typically the person that can do a desk job every day and enjoy it.
This is also the people pleaser, and I think the position of the people. Oh my gosh, Connie, this was so good. And everybody, I just have to say, get a reading with Connie Jo if you haven't yet. She is so wonderful at reading your gorgeous natal chart. And until next time, right?
Right.
What are we doing next time?
Disneyland house.
Woo! The big house. Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun.
Ooh, sexy romantic children.
Sexy romantic, comma, children.
Yeah, right. Big comma.
Also, we got to say one more thing though, Connie.
Oh, what?
Connie has a really cool report in our shop, and that is the astrocartography report. So you can choose 5 cities anywhere in the world. You can see if it falls on someone's Venus line or Jupiter line, right?
It actually gives you the aspects of where, what happens where, and it also gives you a scoring system. There's 10 different categories, anywhere from family, friends, career, love, culture. And it's a fun report, especially if you're planning on traveling, moving, or you just want to see what it would be like to live on the other side of the world.
I love it. And I remember talking to you about having my retreat in Barcelona and what that looked like with my astro chart. You guys, this report is so fascinating. It's so interesting. And if you do go get it, because you want to see where a great place is for you to move, or just where you're currently living, what it's bringing to you, you'll see the instructions are there, and you just have to email Connie Jo your birth information. But I wanted to tell you about that report because it's just really, really cool. And this was so much fun to do. I just love doing these videos with you, and I can't wait for the 5th house. So we're going to sign off. Me in Seattle.
Me in Florida.
Take good care wherever you're at. Bye.